And the one part that you said, Darren, is that the integration part. It basically all the black dollars left the community. We're the only people that don't recycle our money. So our money leaves in the same day it goes to every other community. Oh, these are numbers.
You want to know why black dollars leave the? You want to know why black dollars leave the black community?
Because we don't own shit.
We don't own shit.
And why don't we own shit?
Because we couldn't buy shit.
Because the white man ice is colder. We rather get their shit than
nobody. That has never been a thing.
Exactly.
Never been a thing.
White man's ice is colder.
Nobody. No. Like, see, the thing is that y'all are listening to one ignorant motherfucker say something stupid and extrapolate that to the entire community. Black folks, by and large, was not saying I want the white man shit because the white man's ice is colder. Even if y'all did, even if y'all do want to use that statement, that was an analogy to the fact that in black schools, there were bad textbooks that was falling apart. The school was falling apart. Meanwhile, in the white community, they had good textbooks. They had good schools. Their schools weren't falling apart. They weren't dilapidated. That was the whole point when they were talking about y'all saying we're separate but equal, but we're not equal.
But why didn't you say anything about recycling a dollar? Why you pick that little point? Focus on recycling a dollar because
you can't recycle a dollar. You can't recycle it. How do you recycle a dollar without ownership? How do you recycle a dollar without ownership? How do you recycle a dollar without ownership? How do you recycle a dollar? Answer that question. How do you recycle a dollar without ownership?
Listen, it's not an excuse, but Ruth, here's my thing.
Hold on, y'all. One mic.
How do you recycle a dollar without ownership?
If you so
Ruth, if I get paid and the grocery store in my neighborhood is not owned by me, but I need to feed my family, where can I take my dollars?
What about Versace and
the gas? Hold on.
Most black folks don't fucking buy Versace. What are we talking about?
What about the gas station? I need to go to work. I need to hold on. I need to go to work. I can't. I have to spend. I have to put gas in my car, right? But I don't own the gas station. So what do I do in that scenario?
What black person owns textiles?
Right. Oh, what if you got to catch the bus to work? I don't own the bus company, so I have to pay that money. So listen to what
we used to own the bus companies.
You didn't want to ride on the bus company.
The bus boycott started in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. If you didn't know that, that's history for your ass.
Do you know what Martin Luther King said in his last speech?
Keep us at the back of the bus.
Martin Luther King said, instead of fucking integration, I felt like I led my people into a burning building. He said we should have came to DC to get our damn check.
Y'all denying history. Bruce gave a whole history lesson.
How do you cycle a dollar with no ownership?
And y'all, Bruce gave
nobody can answer that question.
Lesson. Sweeney, you keep trying to pivot from what he dropping and what he's
because he doesn't know what he's talking about.
He does.
I'm sorry, he doesn't. He doesn't.
He's talking history.
He's not. Nothing about what he said is factual.
It happened in Louisiana.
Nothing about what he said was factual. Nothing about what Bruce said was factual. Nothing he said was factual. No,
you're lying,
didn't. Sweeney. I am not lying.
You're lying. You are lying. You're flat out lying on this podcast. You're flat out lying on this podcast.
What research? And you said that black folks don't cycle a dollar.
One mic.
When he brought up that it wasn't just happening on Black Wall Street, when I gave you the other cities across America that it was happening in, that black ownership was happening before segregation. See, Sweeney, you see how you cut me off? You see how you cut me off?
Because I was literally in the middle of a statement anyway.
Cutting me off? You were not talking. You were not talking.
You really don't know what the fuck y'all talking about, man.
I'm very educated, and everybody on here.
I can't tell. I can't tell. I can't tell.
You need to be educated.
He talked about black ownership before segregation, regardless of what you're talking about when Jim Crow and all this other stuff and school. You keep going back to school.
You said black ownership before integration. Black Wall Street was in the early 1900s. Integration didn't happen until 1960. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? How are we better off? Integration didn't happen until 40 years later. What are y'all talking about?
Sweeney, when he said
integration did not happen until 40 or 50 years later. Black Wall Street was destroyed in the early 1900s.
Sweeney and Casey, we got to make sure.
Come on.
First of all, I want to apologize to Law earlier. I ain't mean no disrespect to you, man. But secondly, if you scale this conversation up, it is the same shit that goes on amongst our black people as a mass. We can't get it in order. We can't even agree. We disown our own history. We can't even look back at the facts and accept the shit that took place. It's a damn shame.
In what aspect, bro?
Because you're not stating facts. Because
you're wrong. My last argument was on what you said was we talked about the black dollar circulating. And I said, why does it not circulate? Because we don't own anything, is what me and Sweeney was saying. So my thing is, if I have to pay for my family's food, but we don't own the grocery stores, then where's my money going? We don't own the gas stations. We don't own the coffee shops. We don't own these
clothes.
We don't own but that goes so Sweeney. You remember? Hold on. Because see, here's my thing. I was talking, and then I got cut off. Right, Sweeney. Remember when we talked about this a couple weeks ago? It might have been on King Talk, and we were discussing how you can't just go out and buy your building, right? You don't have that wealth to just go and buy these things, right? We weren't able, like a lot of these others, either come to this country and get grants to purchase properties and start businesses, or they have gotten inheritances from when they were given shit for pennies on the dollar, right? So that's what's creating generational wealth that they already have. So now these buildings that we've been renting for the past 20 years that they've been owning are now worth millions of dollars. We don't have access to that because we still starting 400 years behind. You may have a few people here and there that were able to, get ahead and maybe buy a building here or there, but that is not the vast majority of our people. We don't own our neighborhoods. We don't own the stores in our neighborhoods. We don't own the ground that we fucking walk on in our neighborhoods. Most of us, a large percentage, are renting, right? And hoping to be able to pay that rent next month. So when we say the black dollar doesn't circulate, it's because we don't own shit.
So let me ask you this. Do you believe, what if I told you, okay, first of all, let me ask you this. Do you have any assets right now? You could say you plead the fifth.
Yeah.
And you own them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, if you can own the assets you own right now, what's stopping you from going to get the same resources to go and own that house asset, to purchase a lot and grow tomatoes, corn, cabbage, celery, greens, and feed your motherfucking people? You can have a grocery store called. You can have a grocery store that you own. Hold on, wait. You brought up grocery store. You can go build a grocery store with the same money you went to go purchase your X6 or whatever the hell you got, and go buy a grocery store, put the property up, and sell food to your own people. It's not the fact that we don't own it. It's that we don't want to own shit.
Think black folks try to own farms?
Here's my thing. How do you think I was able to acquire anything that I have? I'm not a grocer, right? I had to work in whatever field that I'm in to even obtain the things that I do have. So going to start a grocery store, it sounds good in theory, but how realistic is that?
It's very realistic. There's people out there that's doing it. White people have been doing it.
We don't own nothing. We don't own nothing.
We got a black owned grocery store in Houston. It's always empty, which is crazy because in Houston it's the majority black. It's one of the most populated. Store, right? Yes, it's a black owned grocery store in Houston. Food, all types of food. Matter of fact, help.
We talked about the dollar, the black dollar
singular,
right? Can I read something?
And it's not being patronized. Y'all wait.
Have you ever asked the people who don't go to the grocery store? Why don't you ask the people who don't go to the grocery store why they don't go to that grocery store?
You want stats, right? Currently,
because they don't love their people.
Or maybe, and I'm just spitballing.
It's way more expensive.
It's way more expensive.
Okay,
that's part of the reason why a lot of black people don't even shop with black people. There's black people trying to sell. No. Listen, there's a reason why when black folks. There's a reason why when black folks talk about, man, I'd rather go to the Asian than to go to a black nail tech. Why? Because the black nail tech is more expensive. Why? This is why black folks say, man, I can't buy t-shirts from over here because they charge more. Because most black people who buy shit and own shit and try to resell it normally buy it at resale price. They don't get it wholesale like other communities do.
They'll buy Versace and Gucci.
They don't. Black folks largely do not buy Versace and Gucci.
How much did you pay for them Jordans you got on, Sweeney? How much did you pay for them Jordans?
Currently, $1 circulates 6
How much did you pay for them Yeezys?
You keep talking about the circulating of the dollar. Most black dollars leave the community through rent and utilities.
Can I finish, Sweeney? Damn.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Time. I'm reading. What you talking about?
But you're listing it wrong. Sweeney is right. It's rent and utility.
Currently, $1 circulates 6 hours in the African American community.
Why?
Compared to 20 days
Why?
in the Jewish community.
Why?
And 30 days.
Because they own their shit.
Why? Why? You keep saying the data. Why?
Listen. They would rather pay more in the Jewish community because they rather support themselves. It's a mindset.
They own the buildings.
It's a mindset.
Listen,
you don't need to
so do you know do you know how much money Jewish people were given in reparations? Do you know how many billions of dollars each year that they receive in reparations?
Just sent it to JR. Please pull it up.
You guys are dominating the conversation.
We just talked about this like a week ago.
Oh my
you
God.
sound crazy.
Hold on, y'all.
Billions of dollars.
Can somebody else have a conversation?
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Hey, Sweeney, we gotta stop all this yelling, man.
Nobody else can.
Let's just have a conversation. Let's just have a conversation. Let's be respectful for everybody. Even if you disagree, wait till they finish. The audience cannot hear us if everybody talking. Let's just make sure we finish.
I believe that everybody can have their own opinion. I don't understand why everybody think that they're right and everybody else is wrong, and then shame people for thinking differently, for opening up their mind because they want to do better. What, we supposed to die poor, broke, destitute, and prostitutes? No, we got to do better. This is how you do better. If you have the Jewish people will go to somebody that costs more. Even if they mess up on a business deal, they go back and make sure they fix it. And
we go pedestalizing these.
Yeah. And these are concepts you learn because we got to start from scratch because we're 400 years behind. You learn from everybody. They take Japanese concepts, American business take Japanese concepts, and they use it in their business because it's going to scale their business and make them money. And no, they're not too prideful to learn from other people that are doing it better than them.
So,
learn from everybody.